welcome to your PowHERhouse Poolside workout, and welcome to Puerto Morales, Mexico. Wanted to do just a quick workout today that is mostly going to be focused on upper body core and a lot of leg stretches, hip openers, and yeah, just a good toast workout way to end out your morning. So Saturday morning here in Puerto Morales, and I've just finished a mid-morning run in high 30 temperatures. So I'm really ready to stretch out, do some upper body work, some core work, and then enjoy the pool. So hope you'll join in with me. We're going to start out with some of my favorite reptile push-ups, but just before we do, just going to get you to do a couple of shoulder openers. Just check in, see how you're feeling. See where your body's tight, and then if you've done reptile push-ups with me before, let's come down to the mat. Start out in a plank position with your hands just underneath your shoulder caps, so not too wide. What you're going to do is take your knee up towards one elbow. As you slightly bend that elbow, come into your muscles. You want to exhale as you do so and squeeze through your obliques back to plank. When you're in plank, your shoulders are back and down, your tailbone slightly tucked forward. Take a deep breath in and then exhale into your push-up. Deep breath in, exhale into the oblique squeeze. Let's go for 5 on each side. 4, 3. Last 2. 1 more. And a little downward dog. Or child's pose in between. Now again, if you are just starting out or you have any type of shoulder injuries, I want to remind you that you can do that from your knees. Again, slightly roll your tailbone forward, shoulders back and down. Take one knee up and then back to your plank. Just make sure your butt's not up in the air. The other knee up and back to plank. You can even make it a slight bit easier if you need to. Modify it even more and back to all fours. So those are our reptile push-ups. I'm going to ask you to come now into a downward dog. So fingertips to the edges of the mat. You want to suction cup your hands and push back towards your tailbone. Stretch back. You can walk out. If you've just finished a walk or a run, just walk out through your calves, through your heels. Let your shoulders, your neck, and your head relax. I'm going to get you from this position to take one step forward. Come into a nice low lunge. Make sure your weight is through your front heel. Tighten your abs and glutes. Roll your tailbone forward and pull yourself back up to standing position. Try the other leg back into a nice low lunge. Roll your tailbone forward. Tighten your abs and glutes and pull yourself up. Again, nice low lunge. Weight above the front heel. Roll the tailbone forward and pull yourself up. One more time. Nice low lunge. Roll the tailbone forward, tighten the abs, tighten the glutes, and pull yourself up with that lead leg. Step or walk yourself back into plank. And then back into downward dog. So we're working into a little sequence here that I'll just explain to you. We're going to start out with a stationary lunge. Take a nice deep breath. Arms down by your sides. Stationary lunge, nice straight back. Take your arms down. Step back into plank. Do a little tricep push-up. Little tricep push-up, halfway, elbows in. Step your opposite leg forward, back to your stationary lunge like we were just practicing, and pull up from there. Now let's start with the opposite leg back. Nice deep breath. Step back into a stationary lunge. Fingertips down to the mat. Push back into plank. Find a really good plank. Elbows in, down into chaturanga. Back up. Step the opposite foot forward. Stationary lunge, weight above the front heel. Pull from the front foot. Back to standing. So we're going to do a few of these in a row. We're going to call these, instead of downward dogs, we're going to call them crazy dogs. So let's do a few in a row. Stationary lunge. Let's try your right foot back, left foot forward, come low, weight on the front heel, fingertips down, step back to plank, all the way down, elbows in, press back up, opposite foot steps forward, back to a nice low stationary lunge, weight on the front heel, pull from the front heel, back to standing. Left leg back. Stationary lunge. Weight to the front heel, tailbone slightly rolled forward, come low, fingertips down, step back to plank, chaturanga, weight on the heels of the hands, press up from there, opposite leg forward, back to over the front heel, and press up from there. One more time. Right leg back, stationary lunge, come low, nice and low, fingertips down, press back to plank, abs are tight, glutes are tight, tricep push-up, all the way back, opposite leg forward, press up from there. Whew. Last time. Left leg back, stationary lunge, come low, fingertips down, chaturanga, press up. Final stationary lunge, tailbone rocks forward, whew, and press up from there. Awesome job. Do a nice wide leg stretch. Soften your knees. Let your head and neck relax. Fingertips down. Knees open up to the side. Slowly let your tailbone start to reach down towards your mat. Stretching through your adductors, as well as your low back and your hamstrings. Awesome. We're going to come onto the mat, do a good shoulder opener, a few glute lifts, and work through a bit of balance. I wish you could see it, but there's actually an iguana who was sitting up on the wall just kind of looking up and trying to check out what we were doing here. So it was pretty cute. As long as he stays on the wall, right? Okay, glute lifts. Shoulder opener to start. Come down on your mat. Clasp your hands behind your back. Bring your feet, your heels towards your glutes. Pull your shoulder blades together. enjoy a nice stretch through the shoulders and chest. When you're ready, keeping the shoulder blades pinched together, hands drop here by your side. We're just going to go through a few glute lifts. Now the most important part of these glute lifts, especially after a run, is that final little quarter of an inch. When you're just about to the top and you want to stop, so stretch out through your hip flexors. All the way up, really stretch. We're going to use your triceps, elbows down and in, and do a few singles. So one leg up, one leg down, press all the way up and back to the mat for 5, and back 4, and back 3, and back 2, and back. Last one, and down. Other side, other leg, connecting with the pelvis, the center of your power. 2, hips come up nice and high. 3, 2 more, 4, 1 more, and 5. Awesome. Little spinal twist. Opposite shoulder tries to stay down. Wrist up towards the ceiling. Let your shoulder and your chest open up and stretch out as you do your spinal twist. And other side. We're going to go through some balancing pike crunches. I know my clients at home just love this exercise. Hear the sarcasm. Balancing pike crunches, where you want to take your legs up, but tuck your tailbone, roll it forward, tuck your lower back down to engage through your lower abs. Then you want to take your arms by your sides, open up through your chest, and engage through your rib cage. From here, a little kick to roll yourself right up to your sit bones. You don't want to be halfway up. You want to be all the way up. And then bring your chest up to get the contraction to come from your back into your abs. Nice and tall, and hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly roll back down to the mat. Take a deep breath in. Legs and arms are set. Roll yourself up. 3, 2, 1, and back. 2 down, 2 to go. Set the leg, add the arms, kick it up. For 3, 2, 1, and down. 1 more. Legs and arms, kick it up. 3, 2, 1, and down. Whew. Stretch it out, fingertips to tiptoes. Let's do a few pike crunches. Lower back down, slight bend in the arms, slight bend in the legs. You're going to come all the way up and really squeeze together at the top. Lower back down, you're only extending as far as you can keep that lower back down before you come together and squeeze up again. Deep breath in, come together, squeeze up. Deep breath in, come together, squeeze up. Deep breath in, together and up. Deep breath in, together and up. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. To finish off, we're going to do a little pigeon stretch. So I'll just encourage you to work through this hip opener with me. Bring one leg in front and place it like you're going to sit cross-legged. But instead of sitting cross-legged, you're going to take the opposite leg back, straight back from your hip, and come up on your toes. You don't want to be down on a flat foot. It's hard on your back knee. arms out, wiggle out so that you know both hip bones are squared off to your mat. And just let yourself stretch out for a minute. When you have a little more flexibility, you're going to wiggle that back foot back a little further, keeping your hip bone square. You can even open up your foot, your angle of your leg just a little bit, if it will let you. Listen to your body, nice straight back, and then slowly start to bring yourself down to your mat. The focus of this stretch is opening up through your hip, your external rotators on the leg that is underneath you. Take a couple more nice deep breaths. Sink into the stretch. If you're increasing your running late this summer and this fall, this is one area you are going to need to increase your stretching as well. You cannot increase one without the other and expect not to sustain any injuries. Let's take the other leg forward, cross-legged. Don't expect both legs to be similar in this stretch. One is going to be tighter. Very few people are totally symmetrical in their shape and strength and power left to right. The chances are you have one leg that is stronger than the other, and tighter than the other, shorter than the other. Again, wiggle both hips, try to make sure you're squared off to your mat. Feel your stretch, find it. When you're ready, you can start to take the upper body down towards the mat to increase your stretch. But don't push it, don't force it. It should feel enjoyable, not painful. Stretching is a great release, not only physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and very important. From here, I'm just going to ask you to whip both legs around, come right to your sit bones, sitting up tall, moving the fleshy bits away from your sit bones, working into a hamstring stretch. Now, a hamstring stretch, you want to feel like your chest is up, breastbone pointing forward, whether you're grabbing onto your shins, the outside of your foot or your toes. If you want to stretch through your upper hamstrings as well as your lower, you will focus on where your hip bones are. Upper hamstrings are connected up top through your hips. Lower hamstrings connected down here by your knees. You want to make sure and stretch both ends of your hamstrings. And just finishing off with a little butterfly stretch. Soles of your feet together. Sitting up nice and tall. It's a great pose to ground into. Taking a few nice deep breaths. Let the work that you've done today sink in. Let some gratitude for your body really sink in, and gratitude for your life and for what you are creating and the amazing people that you are creating it with. Today I'm really grateful for the community that we are creating within and among PowHERhouse, and we are always welcoming you to join us at PowHERhouse.com for more information and implementation, full integration of ways that you can be powerful, because our mission is to build strong women at PowHERhouse.com. Thanks for joining us